Fit for Life Radio, episode number 161. Your hosts, Gary and Will.
Hello.
Today we are talking about how fat loss improves health.
Easy.
And we wanted to have this discussion right here before the new year because we know people tend to have the goal of weight loss, fat loss, or a lot of times we talk ourselves out of it. You know, we can fall into the it just doesn't matter trap, or sometimes things like wanting to lose weight gets canceled because it's like, offensive to people.
Yeah, like, you shouldn't want to change.
And that's separate, right? You know, yeah, no one should feel like shamed or guilty for their body size. But that doesn't change the fact that there are proven health benefits and markers and consequences based off of our body mass index, or body mass, which then BMI is a way to measure that, body mass index, which we'll get into. You know, the scale, body weight, that's another thing. Normally, not all, when we talk about losing weight, what we're really after is losing fat.
Yeah, body fat.
We don't want to lose lean mass.
No bones, no muscles, or anything like that.
Yeah. So even when we say body weight, always have in mind that you want to lose, we're after body fat loss. So, yeah, we just want to give you dive into a really good study that kind of breaks a lot of this down, just to almost give you the confidence to pursue weight loss. And also not in an all or nothing approach.
Yeah, not that like, well, if you don't lose 80 pounds, then it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Like we want to kind of kick that mindset to the curb.
So, yeah, hopefully your takeaway ends up being some motivation, and also maybe it helps you develop your deep why. Because one thing we always see, and ultimately a good way to get started is, hey, how I look and feel as far as like your physical confidence of like, I feel my best at this jean size or whatever. That is important, but that never really carries us deep enough. A lot of people then, they lose quote unquote motivation and fall off and don't get back on track. And that's because typically we don't have deep enough why, right? Because ultimately, like we just said, most of the people that love you or that care about you aren't going to care about your best bikini body, right? So that will fade away. But there's still reasons not to, say, be in an obese BMI or an overweight BMI. And those are important if you really grasp them, to help you, find this lifestyle that helps support your health for all those reasons. And, that's important to have that deep why. So these kind of reasons hopefully will help give you a deep why light bulb moment. Now, this is from PubMed. It was done in 2017, and it was titled Weight Loss and Improvement in Comorbidity. Differences at 5%, 10%, 15%, and over. So that's talking about differences at, say, 5% of body weight loss. Now, like we mentioned, the problem with weight loss a lot of times is, and here we go, new year, someone does have some number in mind.
A grand goal.
I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to lose 70 pounds. I need to, which can be fine, but you really got to move, have that written down somewhere. But, a lot of times people then get into this all or nothing mindset. And on your path to losing 50 pounds, you may lose 10 pounds and then get stuck and then feel like a failure and then just
because you didn't lose 50.
Exactly. And say screw it and quit, and then you end up on this yo-yo cycle. But the reality is, which we'll get into, there's a lot of benefits to losing, say, that
10 pounds
and maintaining that weight loss.
Yeah.
It's a scale. It's not like turnstile where you get no benefits until you lose the 50 pounds.
Yeah, and when you get that, it's like, damn, I'm healthy all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum, right? So, and there are plenty of reasons to still aim for that 50, but just even if you just lose 5% and then maintain that, that's awesome, right?
And losing those little bits help along the way as well, like make it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah. So with that we'll start there. So we'll say that the average person, say if they're 200 pounds and they want to lose weight, 5% weight loss would be
10 pounds.
10 pounds, right? And you think, oh, that's I'm still obese, and my BMI in that category. Well, there's exponential more benefits to continue weight loss, but even at that 5%, small modest weight loss, there's tons of associated improvements with our health, mainly with things like our blood pressure and cholesterol, which there's a reason your doctor takes those every time you go, and they're like standards for monitoring our health. So that's well worth it, right? So a 5% decrease in body weight improves those things, right? They're also, even as little as 2.5%, so 2.5 to 10% can improve your glycemic, kind of like
Your blood sugar?
Yeah, your blood sugars, how you handle that, your response, your glycemic response, so, essentially which trickles down to the diabetes, so preventing diabetes, right? Or if you have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, possibly, getting rid of it in a way and not having to live with, what comes with that.
Yeah, which is a lot.
Yeah. And same thing with so the triglyceride reduction, things like that, improvement in your cholesterol, those are connected to an now improved ability to miss cardiovascular diseases and issues, right? So right there, heart health is improved. And those are massive, right? So even if you make little improvements in that makes a big difference. And one thing we want to emphasize, because we get this all the time, people want to, they want it to be, so when we talk about diet and exercise, people think, oh, because now I'm eating an apple, or doing a burpee, these magic things are the key to my health.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they are actions that move us there, but the reality is, and this is why insurance companies, for example, they are very heavily invested in and lean into the BMI index, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not how many apples a day do you eat, not, a lot of the exercise stuff, because ultimately the BMI, our body composition, is what dictates the health improvements.
And it does tell like a pretty accurate story, despite what a lot of people might think.
So you want to do these things that help you get to a healthy weight. The healthy weight is the health improvements. That's where like good versus bad foods gets tricky, right? Because someone could think, oh, because I had a slice of cake, that is a bad food, that is bad for my health. But what if having a slice of cake amongst a week full of, whole nutrient-dense foods, and the slice of cake helps you not binge on an entire cake by, trying to restrict the cake.
Like that's a net positive.
And then it helps you maintain a healthy body weight. So then actually that slice of cake is a healthy food because it's part of kind of the program, so to speak, that allows you to have this healthy BMI, which is then where the health benefits are experienced.
And think about it like your health is the sum of all of the actions, not just like an individual and like eating a single food or doing a single workout. It's all of those adding up to our positive outcome.
Not having the $90 acai berries.
Yeah, like that
real fast because you just went to your doctor and they're like,
Yeah, and you go drink a juice you got at Whole Foods or something.
Yeah,
like that doesn't move the needle like it should.
Exactly. So you essentially, to wrap it up, you want to do things that help you attain and maintain a healthy BMI or healthier BMI.
Just trying to improve it somehow.
Yes. So with that, I guess we'll go into so ultimately, in the kind of mechanisms in which weight loss can improve health and health risk. Like we said, it's getting to these healthier BMI levels, and they go into BMI. And look, BMI, we've touched on this before. People don't like it because it's normally a poor. We go to the doctor, our BMI is not there. They're like, you need to lose weight.
Yeah.
And then people then we'll hear because, hey, BMI doesn't account for muscle, which it doesn't. If you're heavily muscled,
Yeah.
lean body mass, your BMI could be in an overweight range, but your actual body composition is quite lean. This can happen, but for most people,
It's not reality.
this is not
Nah.
happening.
If you're like 5'8", like my height, and you're, say I was like 180 pounds and lean,
8% body fat, yeah.
I would be characterized as obese, but that's not the reality. And the 0.001% of people, out there are like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So most people are average, or unfortunately, the majority of Americans are under averagely muscled.
Yeah.
Because most people do not resistance train as we age. So yeah. So, and then like we mentioned, and the study mentions they've reanalyzed and done all that stuff. And the BMI charts still hold up
Yeah.
as far as their correlation to health risks.
They do.
And who stays on top of this? Insurance companies.
Yeah.
Right? Because they ain't paying out. They're on top of their stuff, right? So if it was off, they would make adjustments.
Mhm.
And ultimately they are a quite accurate indicator
Yeah.
for these mechanisms of health improvement or health risk. So now with that being said, you don't have to just what you look up and at 25 or less BMI is considered healthy. And it may be very hard for you to get exactly to that. That doesn't mean there aren't benefits, right?
Yeah, because remember, it is a spectrum.
So if you're an obese and you just lose 10% of your body weight and you're still overweight, you still made massive improvements to your health
And everything.
and avoiding having less health risks. And that is worth it, right? That is important. That is something to, hey, let me get there and maintain this, and you're going to have improvements. So what are those improvements? So like we said, the early ones are a lot of like the your
Blood
work.
markers.
Yep, blood pressure, things like that. Another big one is, look, body fat is ultimately like excess weight, and think of it this way: like muscle helps move our
Yeah,
bones.
it's useful weight.
Yeah, muscles are like little, moving our bones around, and body fat is not.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if we were 0% body fat, we would die.
Yeah,
So
like you need some, of course, to
Yeah.
function.
Yeah, that's why no one's like, hey, yeah, get down to 5% body fat. No one's saying that.
No.
A healthy range is anywhere, typically for a guy, could be anywhere from 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
And women typically like 18 to 30% can be a good range. So normally like 18 to 25.
Yeah, I'd say 18 to 25 is probably pretty normal.
But anyway, so some fat. But now beyond that, fat just becomes extra weight to
Yeah.
carry around, right? And then we have, that is stress, a burden, physical burden on the body.
Yeah, all of the joints. Like
Yeah.
you're just having to support extra weight.
Mm-hmm. And
That's not working for you.
Yep. And then when it comes to, they share the example in knee osteoarthritis, every pound of excess weight exerts a 4-fold burden on the knee per step in daily activities. Yeah.
That's way more than I ever thought it would be.
Yep. So again, you're just physical burden of carrying around that extra weight. So yeah, guess what? You lose some weight, not all the weight, even just some weight.
Just a little bit.
Your knees,
You're taking a little pressure off those
knees,
bad
ankles,
boys.
back is going to feel better, right? Now another one is a mechanistic pathway through biochemical products of fat tissue. So meaning the fat tissue itself is an active endocrine organ secreting cytokines, which are like pro-inflammatory molecules.
So
right?
basically, like excess body fat creates inflammation, so to speak,
Yeah.
to keep it simple.
You want to think, in a way, excess body fat, it's an organ
Yeah.
in and of itself. And the more you have, the more powerful it gets,
Mhm.
and it causes inflammation. So another common thing is a lot of times people will be like, oh, man, my joints are achy and I feel inflamed, and what foods help with inflammation, right? When the reality is like, whatever foods help you lose weight,
Yeah.
and again,
It'll help you so
get-
much.
Get and maintain a better BMI.
Yeah.
And the less fat tissue we have, the less mechanistic path, these biochemical products we're going to be producing.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
Of inflammation.
Yeah.
And in reality, you're finding out, body fat is probably the largest cause for inflammation in our body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now again, yes, majority whole food. So yes, an apple versus apple pie is typically helps people maintain, a leaner body composition. So again, majority whole foods, but that doesn't mean like we said, a lot of people go on extreme diets, eliminate everything, and then end up binging, right?
Yeah.
So
like the occasional slice of cake is not going to cause you to be super inflamed, quite like being, in an obese or, overweight range.
Mm-hmm. And you can get obese and overweight guzzling olive oil, right?
Yeah.
So typically foods that are super energy dense, even though, olive oil, that's a healthy food, good food. But if you overconsume,
you're gaining weight, baby.
For a period of time, you're going to gain weight, which then is going to lead to excess body fat, which then leads to them cytokines. So yes, so there's two, right? So you have the actual one, kind of the physical burden,
the mechanical burden.
Then you have the actual fat tissue itself and its function as an organ, and then you have what they call the portal hypothesis, which theorizes that free fatty acids released from visceral fat stores directly into the portal vein, bathing the liver and contributing to the abnormal lipid profile and insulin resistance characteristic of metabolic syndrome. So essentially, it's that these fats, these free fatty acids, get in and cause havoc to our organs. No bueno.
Nah.
No bueno. So again, we may want to turn a blind eye at that. This is where this is the problem with healthy body at any weight or kind of how that goes is it is known that excess body fat has negative consequences, right? Now and again, this is separate from your mental
how you feel about yourself,
right? And it doesn't say again, making fun of or shaming someone for being obese is definitely not right.
It's not the thing.
No one should have to endure that. But it also doesn't mean that, if someone just gets to 100 pounds overweight, that they should be completely not encouraged to maybe lose some of that excess body fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
For if health improvements are
a goal,
a priority. So again, as you see, extra adipose, extra body fat has negative consequences in various ways. Now, again, off of that, I'm looking here. All right, so health benefits of different degrees of weight loss. So like we said, there's a modest and moderate amount of weight loss, so like 5 to 15% of your body weight, and that helps with preventing diabetes. It helps with type 2 diabetes, improves cardiovascular disease risk factors, heart health. It cardiometabolic risk factors, symptoms of sleep apnea.
That's a big one.
So, and then also like osteoarthritis of the knee. So, they're kind of like technical terms, but in general, and these are what we see working with people.
Mm-hmm. These
who
are
lose
the
weight across the board. I would say the three biggest things we see are, less pain in their joints, improved sleep,
improved blood markers.
improved blood markers, and like immune function. People get sick less.
Yeah.
Like those are, and you get a lot of those benefits at the 5%
Yeah.
weight loss, and now you can trickle that down to, well, if I get sick less often, feel better, you may be then in a better mood, have more energy to then tend to your responsibilities, aka children, job, career, things like that, right? So when we come back to like your deep why,
That stuff matters.
yeah.
It trickles down to a lot of different stuff.
So then when you hit a roadblock and just quit, you can circle back around to these things and be like, no, this is not the person I want to be. These are the priorities and values, that I want to keep going after. Because that's the thing. You will hit roadblocks, right?
Yeah.
You will have obstacles. It won't be completely easy. And you have to be able to push through the non-January 1st setting my New Year's resolution mindset and excitement, right?
Yeah. You got to have something that keeps you going when, like, you had a bad day or a bad week.
Yeah.
And then know, too, like, I know a lot of people will hit a plateau and then just give up. Like, this isn't worth it. But no, like, if you've lost your 10 pounds and you plateaued, you're already in a better spot than you were.
Yeah.
Like, even if you just held that for 6 months, you're still healthier than you were before you lost the weight. So, like, that's a friggin' victory.
Yeah.
And being able to celebrate those small improvements, I think, are important to the bigger picture. And people that do that generally will have more success with their larger goals, too.
Yeah, and write it down in like daily actionable, realistic things. Meaning like, I want to lose weight so that my knees feel better, so that colds go away, right? Your immune system's better.
Yeah.
So literally, like, you may get a cold and it's gone in 4 days, and you don't have these. Some people, you'll like.
Some people it sticks
linger
with you
and be sick for like 3 months. A good night's sleep. Yeah.
Arguably the most important thing, in my opinion, because there's so much that comes from a good night's sleep. So, yeah, like if your sleep improves because you lost 10 pounds, that might be like one of the biggest winners because it trickles down into literally every part of your day and your being.
Yeah. And there's, mental benefits too.
Oh, yeah.
Which they get into. So, like, depression, things like that improve with weight loss, different degrees of weight loss. So, and then that's also can come back to like, that's deep, right? Depression can go back to childhood stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot with it. But being able to help in some way, not that you're going to cure it, but if you can improve it marginally, like that might help you a lot.
Yep. And then just their list, right? Here's the list of, so these vary from like 2.5% to 15% essentially of body weight loss. But again, this is from the studies and referenced. So these are legit condition improvements, like ones we touched on: triglyceride reduction, glycemic improvement, HDL increase, sleep apnea, knee pain. They even have, I guess there's some tests like impact of weight on quality of life score, depression, mobility, sexual function, healthcare costs, mortality, total mortality.
I mean, that's the ultimate one right there.
All these things are reasons, factual. Again, life insurance companies use this thing, so it's not. That's what I think sometimes people forget, because it's so hard, because none of this stuff's really immediate, right?
No.
And we never care until it happens.
Until it's urgent.
Or close to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, a good example is when, you're perfectly healthy and have no limitations, say mobility-wise, and then you sprain your ankle. And and then you quickly appreciate that ankle.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
Same thing. We know, we hear the news, you'll see, another one's like smoking, right? People know
the risks associated with it.
Get lung cancer and die, and the risks associated. But hey, when we're young and it's cool and in the moment, we're like,
whatever,
light up these cigs.
I'm good.
And we just don't think like that. And it's the same way with body fat, right? And we can kind of and unfortunately, what most people do is it's part of aging, right?
Yeah. I just gain weight.
Gain weight no, it's not.
It's not normal.
If you accept it like that, you're not going to be helpful. You have to not accept that, and it's not, right? It's now, when we're alive longer, we have more, as we're alive longer, there's more opportunity to accumulate excess calories and accumulate body fat. So that factor, we have the more opportunity, but it's not because we're aging we gain body fat, right? You can put parameters and lifestyle in place to where you don't. You literally can maintain your weight over the decades. And, now they've had some studies come out, too, where our metabolism, other thing, my metabolism's worse. No, it actually doesn't even seem to be affected at all, at least until we're in our 60s.
Yeah.
So, and it's even funny when people are in their 30s, right? Oh, my metabolism. No, it's a perception, right? The reality is, we just don't move as much. We sit way more.
We have less muscle mass.
We eat way more.
Yeah,
right?
all of those things are combined.
We also, typically have more money than when we were younger. So then that's more expendable income and on comforts and foods and drinks and things like that. So it's just a perception, right? So again, plenty of reasons to legit say I want to lose weight.
Just a couple pounds.
And not sometimes, people even feel again, they're gonna be judged for wanting to lose weight. You know? And the reality is, what happens a lot of times. What do people always say? I need to lose weight. Then what do people say?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And I think I get where people want to try to be kind to the person, but I'm not saying be a dick to somebody, but just support whatever the person wants to do. If somebody wants to do it, let them go.
Yeah.
Encourage them.
And the thing for us is, this is what we do for a living, right? We have a gym, we have nutrition coaching, so people in person, online, and they reach out. And here's the thing, because everyone in their life has told them, oh, you're fine, you're great, you don't need to lose weight. But the reality is, they're in pain. Because they come to us and immediately, we're open up. And it's nah, people are in pain, physically, mentally. They have health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Their blood markers are bad. Their knees hurt. They can't sleep, right? And then we literally see, oh my gosh, people now implement this exercise 2 to 4 days a week. Oh, they cut out snacking. Oh, they lean into some other nutritional changes. Oh, they're coming, hey, look at this, Coach Will. They're showing you their blood work.
That's my favorite one when people bring those in.
Yeah, and hey, look, I used to have type 2 diabetes, and now I don't. Hey, my A1C, we just had one recently. Was 9, now it's 6.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement.
Hey,
3 points, man.
My blood pressure and blood glucose all went down.
Yeah, or hey, I don't have to take my medication anymore. Those are very tangible and very real, and they happen all the time with people that we work with.
So, again, and when I say that, we totally get when, family, I would even, hey, man, I need to lose weight. No, you don't. You look great, right? But the reality is, and that's fine. As a friend, sometimes that's maybe what you're trying to say to help, boost how they're feeling. But the reality is, as professionals, our job is to be no, there's actual, hey, look, here's the data.
Mm-hmm.
there's benefits to this, and we can then help people, right? And then we see this happen. So yeah, that's what we're here is to send the message and voice that, hey, you know what? Actually, yeah, you should. You feel in a place to make some changes and lose weight. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, also, most people have a tendency, like we said, to like, I want to lose 60 pounds. And then every pound before 60
Is not good enough.
is not good enough. I mean, we'll have people who want to lose 50 pounds. They're losing a pound a week.
And they're like, this isn't fast enough.
And they're sad and upset the whole time. And it's like, well, you're not going to lose 50 pounds.
You're literally doing everything right, and this is the best case scenario, and you should be friggin' pumped.
And think about it. Just 1 year, if you lost a pound a week
That's 50 pounds
of fat, right? If you're doing it right. And that's life-changing.
in a year.
Yeah.
How is that not fast enough?
Yep. And you know what? Say, you lost 15 pounds and then got stuck. And then just, you know what? A lot of the other changes you need to make and just maybe your lifestyle where you're at stage of your life, it's just too much. You have so much responsibility. But we'll keep doing what you did to lose the 15 and maintain it because there is plenty of benefits.
Yeah. And then you might eventually hit a point where, you know what? Like, I am ready or my situation allows me to really work on this. And then you can lose a little more if you want. It doesn't have to be completely linear. For most people, it's a lot of ups and downs and plateaus, and that's okay.
Yeah. So ultimately what we want you to know is it's okay to want to lose weight. You also don't need to reach a perfect, quote unquote, or whatever, BMI or specific goal weight. And there's still, you can be healthier with a small reduced weight.
Yeah.
Right? So there's improvements if you are in an overweight or obese range. Even small improvements with your body weight have
a pretty decent impact.
Yeah,
like a little bit goes a long way in this regard. So
don't be all or nothing. And it's okay to want to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah. And if somebody says to you like, hey, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
How can I help you? How can I support you?
Yeah. And we'll pretty much close with that. Hopefully that gets you going. Find those deep whys. One thing I do want to then play off of that, which was a post I had recently, pull it up here, a lot of people liked, is now we established, hey, I want to lose weight. But don't make that your resolution, right? I want to lose weight. And then because then people, like, we can't make ourselves
You
lose
can't
weight.
just will it.
Yeah. So you then want to turn that into, cool, I know I want to lose weight. What are the actions? So maybe I will strength train twice a week, go for a daily 20-minute walk, eat protein and veggies at each meal, eliminate mindless snacking, right? And maybe you just do one of those to start.
Yeah.
But essentially it's make the action now your resolution, your goal. So now we've moved on. Hey, established I want to lose some weight. We're still not there yet. Like, that's not good enough. That should not be your resolution. Now hey, I want to, like we said, strength train or wherever you decide to start. But, those are good ones. So,
yeah.
And if you do know it is a endeavor you want to start on and you do need more ideas and tips and accountability and support, as always, we have a free Facebook group, Fat Loss Secrets for Busy Adults. You can search that on Facebook, pop up, ask for invite. We'll let you in. And we have a gym in Newport News, Virginia, Coastal Strength and Fitness group training gym. People of all types, skill levels. We do focus a little on like people 35 and over. You don't want to, you can't train like when you're 22 and just be all willy-nilly with things. So yeah, we take some things into factor, but ultimately it's, hey, we meet you where you're at. We have people sometimes starting from ground zero.
Scratch.
And yeah, we teach you how to strength train and provide the workouts and coaching so you feel comfortable and confident and hopefully find it fun and engaging and keep coming consistently, right? That's the goal. So yeah, in Newport News, Virginia, you can check us out, Coastal Strength and Fitness. And yeah, as always, we hope you had a happy Christmas.
Yeah.
And you got grandiose plans for 2023 coming up.
All right. Well, I guess we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.